Yeah, free as a bird. Free as a bird. I hope everyone's doing great today. Oh my God, I want to know what that Russian means. Anyway, that's the Russian Boys, Leonid and Friends, bringing us Free. A remake of the Chicago song. I think it's a greater version, to tell you the truth. So do a lot of other people. Anyway, welcome everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. In fact, I feel reborn. This is a great freedom. I had some joint problems, and then I had a cascading event with dengue fever, and as a result, I had to take something else, and I think I was carrying around some bugs and killed them, and with the anti-inflammatories I took, all the pain's gone in my joints. I'm sorting out my calcium issue, but I'm feeling my age for the first time in, 6-7 months. I'm 57, and I feel 57. Holy shit, it feels great. And I think the criteria for success for me is you feel your age. I don't feel like a 20-year-old man. I don't want to. I'm not 20 years old. So I want to feel my age and go on forward. And, at 90, maybe I'll feel, better than 90. But if I'm feeling 90 at 90, that's great. But people trying to tell you at 50 you should be, looking like you're 20 or acting like you're 20. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm going to act however I want to act. And that's it. And this is making your own criteria for success. And I ran into this a few places across the web, and sometimes directed towards me, and sometimes pointing it out that you can live in a hand-me-down world, and then you take over the criteria for success from somebody else. Don't do that. This is just going to lead to disappointment. This is a comparison against some model that's not, valuable for you, unless you make it valuable. Certainly some criteria for success are going to exist. You got to have enough money. You don't need a whole super lot. Or do you? Maybe that is your criteria, but you make that your criteria. Some people want to play music, but you don't have to be great. But if that's your criteria for success, then you become great. And if you can't, well, then you got to decide what to do. Because if you're trying to be great at something you can't be great at, for whatever reason, then you're just going to be disappointed. But life isn't about being great at this or that. Life is about living. And so I think the main criteria should be living. How are you living? How are you living? Are you living good? Is it tough? Good. Is it not tough? Good. What's today going to bring? Today's going to bring another day. Smell the roses. I keep on saying that. Whatever happens on the road, and it could get messy or it could get nothing, but whatever happens, what are you doing today to live, to decide upon that criteria of success for today? This is it. And to make young men sure that, okay, you didn't achieve everything you wanted to achieve, and you can compare yourself to other men, young men who got it early. But getting it early, it's not a race. There's no finish line like a race. The first one across doesn't win. It's life is to be measured upon your death, and you make mistakes. It doesn't matter. You can correct the mistakes. And, if you don't have time to correct the mistakes, well, then you didn't correct that mistake, because you're not going to correct every mistake you ever made. And, this is it. This is why you should, accept that people try their best, and if they fail, they fail. And if it's serious, you tell them, they say sorry, you move on. If they don't tell you sorry, well, maybe they are sorry, and they're trying to fix it, and just haven't figured out how to do it yet. So, this is, wow, Baron Exile, that's really interesting. 2 minutes after. That's pretty good timing, I gotta say. There's no way that I can figure it out to set it up ahead of time. Maybe I should look more deeply. But, I used to be able to set it up 12 hours ahead of time and put it up there. But they changed the format. So I'm just coming up right on the hour now. Luckily, I didn't sleep in today. I was up late a couple of nights ago, celebrating my end of pain, joint pain. My God, I can walk up the stairs now, like I should be able to. I just thought, okay, I'm getting old or something. I'm a little out of shape. No, it wasn't that. It was something else. I'm thinking it's good every once in a while just to take a series of amoxicillin and knock something out of your body. Just, once a year, once every couple of years. You know, I used to live on this stuff as a kid. You take it, and that's it. And if people are going to talk about resistance to drugs, drug-resistant strains of bacteria and stuff, okay, but I'm talking about amoxicillin. I'm not talking about other types of bacteria. And so you get this. We've got amoxicillin, which is, I believe, the first penicillin. Alexander Fleming, 1937. That one. You take that and it just wipes out so much. It wipes out so much, and has. And I've never read about it. I looked it up once, and I can't remember ever finding anything on drug resistance to amoxicillin or penicillin that actually has come to be. But there has been, and all the discussion seems to be around just a couple of them. Strep is one, tuberculosis is another, and there are reasons why they become resistant to drugs, and would anyway. Regardless of what you did, they change their structure quite easily in certain ways. But otherwise, that doesn't appear to be a drug resistance problem. So this is, a hand-me-down criteria that says, oh, you can't do antibiotics because of drug resistance. Well, you have to demonstrate that. They haven't. They're worried about it, so it's a concern. But at this point, I don't see it. I couldn't find it. Well, if anyone can find it, show it up. But otherwise, I'm going to do it from now on, every couple of years, whether I think I need it or not. Just, take a little amoxicillin, wipe out all those little buggy things, drink some lactobacillus and reestablish my gut flora, eat some nice nasty meat. Yeah. Scrape a little bit of the green stuff off and then just sucker back. Yeah. And then you're good to go. Used to be in the wild, God only knows what humans would eat, some carry and kill, right? You look in the past and you look at what humans have done, and if you can't forgive your past like that, you got a problem. We've eaten some pretty crude stuff in my ancestry and yours as well, right? And we were alive, and we could be that way again. We're pretty tough creatures. Now, I wouldn't go diving into what they were doing back then. They used to gnaw on bones and had those wisdom teeth really strong. But you can work up to it. You can work up to it. In fact, I recommend it to MM, just for something to do, to go out into the wilds and sleep rough. Not totally rough, but pretty rough. Don't take a tent, but maybe take something to lie on. But and don't wait till wintertime, but sleep out in the rough. I think Whiskey could do that. Hey Whiskey, how are you? Great to have you in. Hope you're doing well. It's great to see a picture where you're hanging out in the woods. See, that's so beautiful. I remember, not in the mountains, but going out to places like that. I used to live semi in the woods, right on the border, and we just go in and I still like hanging out in the woods, to tell you the truth. I like going downtown to a restaurant, do everything in its place, but this is a wonderful thing to get out and get in the countryside, and this is what Canada can offer. So you're going to make your own criteria for success. Well, this is a criteria. You just go out, you're in the woods, you can relax. This is the way that nature's been given. You move into it, and this is a good thing. And so this is the criteria that you can take. Now, other people are going to take it, but just because they take it doesn't mean you don't have to or cannot. No, a lot of people are going to choose the same criteria. In fact, I think people have to. You know, in your life, you choose your criteria, but that's going to also be criteria of other men. And so we're coming to the point there that men are jumping on board. Men's talks, the manosphere, and maybe this is a good thing. I'm here talking about men, and that's it. And we're having fun, and we're covering some territory. I don't know what that territory is, but we're covering it, and it's good territory. And this is just something that's good. And you didn't get this. You didn't get this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever. You just didn't get it. And, we can get angry. We don't have to, but we can. And we can get maudlin and sad about the way things were and cannot be again. And, see, that's just it. Just build the tarp shelter and done. Keep the rain off here or something. Just go out and then you toughen up. Then you toughen up, and it's like going back to the ancestry. You're building up that, and if you have to, then you can do it. See, then if you have to, you can do it. And right now, I'm not sure what the future's going to be, so it's always good to get out that toolkit of possible skills you may need to have. And Johnny, mods are not necessarily getting preferential treatment anywhere. They never did. But it's good that you got a notification. Again, I'm hoping to come up at the same time, at least from my end, regardless of the time changes due to dark, winter time, summertime. But it's the only thing really constant in my life, I have to say, is this broadcast, the timing of this broadcast. And so it's sort of a nice way to round out the week for me and get the weekend rolling. But in my work life, there's no constancy at all. In my family life, there's no constancy. In my hanging out with the men down here, there's no constancy. So, yeah, only by luck. That's right. Only by luck. I know. It's a funny thing. And this YouTube thing, they're trying to close it down. They're trying to close down a lot of men. I was watching Tim Pool again. I like to watch Tim Pool, get my news from Tim. And he says he's worried about being shut off of YouTube because they're changing the rules on what's allowable to be discussed and what's not. And this is not good for him and other channels like this. And I think they're trying to pull in, we've got to protect the children, type of thing. Which, okay, it's good to protect children, but this isn't the way to do it. But again, they want to, the nanny state, right? The nanny state, and this is not going to work in the long run. And people are pointing out. I think people, hopefully, are going to get wise to the situation that the social media, they're looking at a world. They're not looking at just America, and so they have a lowest common denominator of trying to appease. This is a policy of appeasement, that these American companies are trying to appease other governments. They're trying to appease other cultures. They're trying to appease, and by doing that, they're destroying America. They come into America, they start there, and then they want more. They get greedy, they want more. They say, we want the whole world, and we're gonna try to mold America into the rest of the world just so we can get the whole world on here. And so this is going to destroy America if it happens, because America is not the whole world. The whole world's not as tough as America. And so the whole world, I don't think the whole world wants the rest in America to become like the rest of the world. No. The whole world benefits from America having been America, and they've got to get back to it. And I don't know whether they know how. But Yeah. Let me see if I can get that here. I don't think I can. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, somebody. Yeah, I can't get that link, Whiskey, for some reason. I can't take the link directly out. I don't think. Hold on, maybe I can. No, there we go. I got it now. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope he's okay. Yeah. His father took a bullet for his 3 kids. My God, what the hell's going on? Yeah. No, that's it. No. Yeah. Well, it seems that he only got a bullet in his right thigh. Yeah. No, this is what you would do, and hopefully, and you say this is what you would do, with any kids, right? If you were looking after any kids, if you were the guardian, right, of any kids in that situation, that's what you would do, and you would hope you would do it. But in the moment, okay, yeah, no, 100% of people as guardians of those kids would not do that. 100% would not do it. But those who didn't would say, I should have done it. That's what I would do. It just didn't happen. You freaked out or something, and your mind went somewhere else or whatever. And you didn't make the first plan. You went for plan B or something. But whatever, you know, this is this is a nutso situation. Gunshots rang out inside a car dealership. My God, what's going on? You see, this is what the mass media has done, is put everyone on edge. And I read a crazy thing today about people saying that if Donald Trump wins, that means it's the end of democracy. So if he wins the election, it means it's a fascist dictatorship. What? He's got 4 more years, and that's it. I can't, the mass media's got these people so whipped up on Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know what it is that Trump's doing to these people, but they just don't like it, and we'll have to see what happens after. But I think the Americans have got to get control of their media because they're fake news. They're just saying everything Donald Trump says is a lie. They're trying to mind war it. So they're willing just everyone to believe that Donald Trump is an inveterate liar. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And this is what the Democratic woman said, Pelosi, before she freaked out. Anyway, so I checked again. And so I went down a list and I looked at the landslide. So he claimed that he won in a landslide. And then it had all this stuff, and you look at the numbers and blah, blah, blah. And then you realize that he won 3,000 out of 3,300 counties. And you're just saying, well, that's a landslide. Is he allowed to say he won in a landslide, winning 3,000 out of 3,300 counties? Yes, he is. He's allowed to say he won in a landslide. And so why are you saying it's a lie? It's not a lie. It's a difference of criteria. And one criteria is yes, on another it's no. Well, leave the guy alone, for fuck's sakes. A guy's allowed to say that. A guy's allowed to toot his own horn, and other people would do it. You wouldn't say anything. That's nitpicking. And I went through a whole bunch. I couldn't find anything. But this is what they're trying to do. Why? Because they got that DOJ guy changing the email to send to the FISA court, comma, not a source, comma, when actually he was a source, to get a warrant to tap Donald Trump's phone during an election. So this is what's coming out. So they're hunting these people down. They're putting them in jail, and the Democratic Party doesn't like it because this was the Democratic deep state, the establishment deep state, and trying to clean it up. So apparently now there's more coming out on Hunter Biden, Mr. 50,000 a month with no with no skills or experience. He got like a huge sum of money, a couple of million or something, from the wife of the mayor of Moscow. That seems odd to me. That seems odd. But, hey, Wookie. Nice one. Nice one. Yeah, well, don't fucking be buying those tampons, Wookie. Jesus. Yeah. And, yeah, go out and do some practice. You never know. And watch out at car dealerships. You know, if you're just walking around, you got to be fast on your feet. This is Mgtow Ghost level 4. You know, and if you don't really have to hang out at car dealerships, don't. And that's it, because people are wired, they're on edge, they're being whipped up. And, you know, the mass media is trying to tell people what the criteria for success is. And the sheeple are walking down. They're walking down. Yep. Good on you, Wookie. When are you going fucking Australian on us, Johnny? What the fuck is that? Yep. There's a guy in Rogers Park who can get you beer for free. Isn't that a song like MacArthur Park or something? Yeah, MacArthur Park. It's not Rogers Park, Bear or Johnny. It's yeah. Thank you. I have to go buy some beer. Expired state ID. You need ID to buy beer? Maybe so. Oh, God. You know, you got to look young, right? You know, I used to look old when I was young so I could buy beer. Yeah, Stone Reaper. Now, that's the way to go. If you can do that. You know, I was at the cusp of doing a distillery for the first time. And I got all the gear. And the guy who had experience in doing it went and got himself killed. So, and you know, it wasn't a good way to go. He was drunk on a motorcycle. And anyway, sometimes too much money's not good, I'm going to say. Too much money's not good. And so, it's best to live a moderate lifestyle, you know. Anyway, booze is a good thing, but just, you know, take the middle path. Take the middle path. If you're running away from something, don't run there. Don't run there. Oh no, I'm having an error warning here that maybe the system's going down a bit. Oh well, we'll work on it. Yeah. Yeah. Piss in the carburetor and make that car run on 100% alcohol fuel. Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta say, yeah, here we got the recipe. 1 gallon water, 1 pound corn, 1 pound sugar. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Then you got to ferment it. What do you add for the yeast? He asks. And then you got to put it through the distiller. Do you do the distillery, Stone? You run it through the tubes? Use copper tubing? I bought copper. You know, I don't know what the hell to do with it now. You know, I could do it if I sat down and researched it, but I'm not. You know, I can do it, but I got to be in the right mood. It's like learning a new program. I can learn a new program and sort it all out and download it and install it, but if something goes wrong, then I'm not in the mood for that. Yeah, I bought the Belgian beer kits, the cherry beer from the monks. Man, I love that stuff. That was one of that was the best beer I made as a homebrew beer, the Belgian stuff. It was a long time ago now. My God. Blue Moon. Get Blue Moon and an orange. Man, that's like, what language is that? Yeah. Basic mash is basic math when you're greased. That's a good one. I can talk. I can talk. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Nice. It's good to get the nice recipes once in a while, Baron Exile. That sounds great. Sour cherries. Wow, that's nice. Hipster. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree. This is all hipster stuff. This is way above me. Ah, yeah. Okay. Super yeast. Wow. 10 days with super yeast. Okay. This is good stuff. They've done the research. They figured it out. And, people are selling the kits and the information's there. Once you get good at it, you get good at it. I can see why, there's a danger to distillery because you got to bring it up to the first temperature and then let the methanol blow off, and then you get the ethanol. Um, and you got to watch the thermometer. I bought the thermometer, and looking at it, I got the pots. I got a double boiler. And I had to drill and put the stuff in, and this sort of stuff is what I'm sort of concerned about. Oh God! Somebody showed me this video of this guy getting slammed by these two fat chicks. Oh God! Yep, plenty of yeast at OnlyFans. Yeah, what a world! And everyone's noticing it now. The women just want to go on. They just want the attention. They just want the attention. That's it. And that's it. So they're going to do it, and men are waking up to this whole fact and getting out of it. And the economy seems to be doing okay in America. It went down probably 5-6%, or into negative 5-6% GDP growth, and probably stabilized there. And now it's just going to go up. A lot of people are working. Most people are still working. Debt's piling up in a lot of places. That's going to have to work itself out. It's going to be bad for some people. But overall, people still got to work and eat and do stuff. There's new opportunities. I think this shake-up is going to have winners and losers. I think one of the losers is Agenda 21, because people are now moving out of the cities. They're saying, let me do Zoom meetings. That's it. You want something done, just let me do it. I don't need to go to an office and sit there all day. Just send me the docs. I'll review the docs. I'll whatever it is. And if there's a meeting, we can Zoom it, and we're done. And so traffic is going to go down. Car sales are going to go down. We're going to see a restructuring of the economy. And, once in a while you might want to go in and have a meeting. But I think the COVID scare is going to restructure things. So I had to go out yesterday. I went out for the first time in a long time. Had to wear a mask, and I can't wear it. I can't breathe. So So I got to leave my nose open and nobody fucking says anything. So, But otherwise, that's, I don't have to wear a mask day in, day out, wherever I go, locally. Just go into the big town, then I get it. You got to get yourself in line. You got to act like everyone else. You got to believe the lies. Yeah. Yes, Johnny. And most of the breasts now are never going to produce milk. I'm going to make that prediction. Most of the breasts in the West are not going to produce milk. We were up to, never having had kids. I think it was at 31% or something of women now never having had kids. So it's going to go up, and again, we're having this long-term reconstruction. And I'm getting it from many streams. That there's a... Who was it now? I think Carlos Castaneda. Something about cosmic powers redesigning human biology. So somebody said that to me. And, I didn't get that from Carlos Castaneda. I don't know what it was in particular, but there seems to be what can be called a biopolitics adjustment to what humans are, like using the biology of humans to control them. And I think we see this. We see changing the legal system, the political system, to make men and women hostile towards each other. As a result, changing the way that people have babies. It's going to be artificial wombs. And if you haven't seen the picture in a while, maybe I'll just put it up right there. There we go. There's a picture of the artificial wombs.
This is the artificial womb facility, a place where humans could be grown entirely from scratch. The devices you see here are called growth pods. Each growth pod is designed to replicate the same conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. Growth pods are designed to host human fetuses until they are fully developed. These artificial wombs are designed to help premature babies to continue developing after.
The main page. Sorry about that. There we go. Let's get normal here. I was on a different page. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So you can walk around the streets of Chicago without wearing a mask. Well, that's good, at least. And, whatever it is they're doing, I don't know why they're doing it. I put it on and I say, why are you making people do this? Because it's not helping. It can't stop it. And the next time, surgeons wear them. Yeah, that's right. No, they wear it just... And it makes sense. In the surgery, when you got somebody's skin opened up, you don't put anything in there, right? When the skin is opened and it's not scabbing over or anything, yeah, you cover it over. You cover your mouth, you cover everything. Yeah. Just for that amount of time. And then, once you close up, you're done. Yeah. So, yeah, pressurized, the whole thing. The countries are different, but generally outside of the cities, no. As far as I can find, outside of the cities, no. Country by country, it's different. Singapore is taking it more seriously, but Singapore is finished. Singapore's dead already. Singapore is dead country walking. They don't have kids. When you go to Singapore, it's like you're in a coffin. You feel like you're in a coffin. Like you're in death walking around. Now it's all very nice and lovely. The streets are safe, and you don't see police because they got cameras, and you don't get out of line. Nobody really hassles you. They don't sell beer out of the convenience stores at certain hours of the day, but otherwise you can buy it right off there, and You know, as long as you keep a pretty low profile, you can do anything you like. But, you know, it's just a city-state. And they said they had all these deaths. I don't know what they were doing, because they didn't, obviously. Because this COVID-19 does not kill people. There's no cause and effect relationship. The numbers show us that there's not. And it hasn't been demonstrated via Cox postulate, so we have no evidence for. We have evidence against statistically, because young people don't get it and die, and they have to if it's real. And so there's nothing to think that there was anything untoward in Singapore, so why did they do it? Why did they do it? Why are they doing the masking? So they do the masking in Singapore and maybe some cities here and there. But outside the cities, people don't. And there's no problem. There's just no problem. We're not seeing a pandemic. And yet the governments are talking about it. And they're also now talking about what in the hell they've done. It's like an experiment. And now they're going to debrief from the experiment for the pandemic that never was. And so that's it. Yeah. Yeah, see? Nice. I drove through there. Stone Reaper, I didn't know that. That's a beautiful place. I drove through those mountains. Either Virginia or West Virginia. Driving through there. You hear about it. Coming from Nova Scotia, that's just such beautiful land down there. And you say, you see the difference from up north in Nova Scotia. It's the Appalachian Mountains. They just they tail off right up there. And then you go south and you see the easier living. The winter's so much shorter. And the land so much richer. And that's why it's rich. That's why America's rich, because the land is rich and the people saw it and they worked hard. And they made the land something of what it was. And then everyone was free to join in. And they did. And they came from far and wide and joined in and made it rich land. But I don't care how hard you work up where I'm from. You ain't going to make much out of that land, because the land won't give it. The summer's too short. The land's too rocky. And so you got to find another way to make a living out of that territory. And the full Karen mode. This is the entitled mindset. They're entitled to 100% safety. We see it. This is what happens in the gynocentric system. That these women feel like they're entitled to 100% safety, and they demand it. They demand it here, they demand it there, and if you don't give them 100% safety, and they're whipped up into fear, because now the mass media is just for women, so let's call it women's media, because the women are mostly the talkers there. Maybe they don't write it, but they talk it, and they're delivering the news, they're consuming the news, and men are getting it from the internet, they're getting it from different sources. But no, the women are being whipped up in the Trump derangement syndrome, in the COVID derangement syndrome. So this is the world we're in. This is the gynocentric system gone wild and rampant. And people are getting red-pilled left and right. Eventually, reality cannot be overcome, and you just see it here. You just see it. So, this is interesting. This is interesting stuff. So, things are okay out in the mountains, are they, Stone? They're not making you wear a fucking mask in the woods. Flying around drones watching you. You're not wearing a mask deep in the woods. They made that kid, or I don't think he's a kid, a young man or something, on a windsurfer in the middle of the bay in Santa Monica, California. They took him in for not wearing a mask or something. My God. Yes, 100% safety. What in the hell are they doing? Yeah, this is it. But you see, the women want 100% safety. That's their genetic programming. That's the gynocentrism. They crave the safety, and so they'll infinite money to get infinite safety. Yeah, they'll say yes, and they won't understand what they've just said. So, oh my God! Yeah, my God. I can imagine that. Yeah, there's no way to protect you because the electron. I'm not sure exactly here what quantum tunneling is, but in my recollection, a particle has a probability of appearing on the other side of a wall and do so. And so things degrade. We are into entropy. And, it's just, we are in a state, a universe, where there is entropy. So we move from orderedness into unorderedness. And the only way we can keep it ordered is to, or even disordered, which is good too, is to mix things up or mess things up. I wanted to add those two words into the same thing, mix and mess things up. And so, this is manufactured destabilization. This is what is happening. Somebody wants a disordered state or an ordered state to go against entropy. And so, they want to mess things up, and this is one of it. They're putting the COVID hoax here, and now we see kids staying home from schools. Well, that's actually a good thing, because now teachers, if they want to teach, it's online and everyone can watch them, and now they're worried that the parents are watching what now they're doing to their kids. And the parents are home from work, working at home, so they can see it, so they can monitor the classrooms. The teachers were refusing to have cameras in the classrooms, so now the students are now protected because they're at home, and everyone can watch the teacher try to abuse the kids at home. So, this is a destabilization. And so we were getting, all this Marxist indoctrination of kids, of which I probably suffered. Yeah. Yeah, the highest paid people are actually janitors. Doctors, shrinks, and lawyers, they are only here to fight entropy. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah. Entropy fighters. I think that's what we all are, in some way. Farmers take a disordered state, of a wild field, and then they plow it, and then they plant, and so they've taken disordered, and then they've made it ordered. And then, if you can keep that going sustainably, you can live, right? Life can live. But then you have an unordered state, which is a desert, where there's no change. There's no wild growth. There's no ordered growth, planted growth. There's just sand. And so that is entropy. And, I always thought that the right person, somebody steeped in the right type of science would generate some interest in turning the Sahara into a desert, from a desert into a garden. And, all you got to do is add water, and then the right type of management, and you plant the right type of crops with the right amount of water, change the right amount of climate situations, and then bingo, you turn the Sahara into a garden. And, how big is the Sahara compared to Europe? I don't know. It's like 6, 7, 8, 10 Europes. How much food can you grow in that area with that sunshine and that climate? Massive amounts. And all you got to do is rebring life in. Rebring life, and that means putting water there first with desalination plants, solar panels, piping it from the ocean, kilometer by kilometer. And there you're battling entropy, so you're creating probably both disorder and order out of unorderedness. So, well, oh my God. Yeah, Stone Reaper, good one. Why are you here? Get off of my property. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's it, Baronex. Yeah, a lot of the Sahara would be good. Why not? It used to be a garden. Apparently, there's evidence of things growing here and life, bones and stuff there. And the climate changes sometimes radically. I got to say, I was just talking about climate and climate change last night with this guy, and I mentioned that my province, Nova Scotia, was under 1.5 kilometers of ice 15,000 years ago. So let's break this down a bit. 6,000 years ago is the Great Pyramid, let's say, of Egypt. Another 6,000, and then 3,000 more. So that's not that long ago. Great Pyramid, that again, and then 3,000. There was 1.5 kilometers of ice. So you're in a car driving 1.5 kilometers straight up. There was that much ice on the province of Nova Scotia, and it melted. And so there is a massive change of entropy. How much energy is needed to melt that much ice? And this is just not Nova Scotia. This is the Ice Age up north, and went down even. I don't know. It didn't. It bordered right on Virginia, I think, didn't it? The ice sheet came down just about to Virginia down there, and everything above was just covered in ice. That was it. And so that was a great change, and it opened up a lot of the world. And now what you see is what we have now. We have great wealth, and it's all spread out. If we could get Baffin Island to be a garden, that would be good too. That's a huge island. It's number 6 or 7 or something like that. Now it's just covered in ice. But yeah, Baron Exile, the desalination is a problem, and then what to do with the salt itself is a problem after you desalinate it. And then you got to pump it, and but again, it's just a pump, and you take the energy, and you just pump it in. Huge pump plants pumping, huge pipes of water. And you begin along the coast, so you're not pumping in that far to begin with. You're pumping in along the coast, and then each year, kilometer by kilometer, you go in. And then, some wild crops, some planted crops, some orchards, some forests. Mix it up. It would be a great project. I think the world could get behind it. And, I don't know about the local people, what they want. But, they want to make some money off of the whole thing. They're going to have to make some money off of it. Otherwise, they won't be, engaged. But anyway, I really do, think it's an idea that's doable. Expensive, certainly, but less expensive than the Iraq War. I mean, the money spent on those weapons of mass destruction that never were, had it been spent on something useful, we would have a very different world. That would be the world I would rather live in than the one I do. A world where people, get together and do something great to push back the bounds of entropy. But this, somebody else has made a criteria of destruction and war and destruction and fear and whatever their agenda is. They don't have an agenda of doing great things for the future. They're not thinking big. I don't know what in the hell they're thinking. Small men in small positions, maybe. But now we have a big man in a big position, and he's running for election, and they're doing everything they can to stop him. Apparently, we have a debate in 4 days. Do we have a debate in 4 days? That's it. So maybe I'll think about coming up and doing a play-by-play, a breakdown, or something like that. I don't know what to do, but if anyone wants to watch it together, maybe I'll think about doing that. See if I can plan something. It should be good. I'm waiting for it to be good. I think it's going to be great, great entertainment. I've seen a lot of American presidential debates, and a fair number of Canadian ones, and a couple of otherwise. You know, in English, I'm pretty good. Keeping my eyes open around the world, and I know what I expect to see, and we'll see how well Joe Biden defends. You know, telling the guy, either you fire that prosecutor because my son's working for the company that you're investigating, or you don't get $1 billion. How he's going to, answer that charge? Looking like, a non-corrupt politician. This is the greatest embarrassment ever. That you turned the United States into like a third world country, bribing people, with pathetic things like give my son a job. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. Anyway, this is an exciting time. We're going to see the most interesting presidential elections that we have seen, I think, in my lifetime. And they were pretty interesting the last time with Hillary. Johnny, are you thinking about moving out to San Francisco? They got a lot of jobs for those types of people out there in San Fran, I hear. San Francisco is a good place to get free fertilizer. You just got to pick out the little bits of heroin needle from the shit, and then you can use it right on the fields. It's really a horrible thing to think about, as we know those men who go down that path are probably casualties, right? These men are casualties, and they've got to understand what's been done to them. They've taken someone else's criteria for success. They didn't match up. They didn't measure up with those criteria, and so they think they're failures, and then they inject themselves with fentanyl. And this is not a good way to live. Don't do that. Don't accept someone else's criteria. Yeah, Baron Exile. That's the problem right there. Yeah, somebody said you can have open borders or you can have welfare, but you can't have both. And that's true. And, a lot of people came to America, and they came looking for a chance to work hard and make it, and they did. And some didn't. And if you were smart, just surviving is enough. If you just survive, that's enough. I like to set criteria bars low, and then you shoot high, and it's like, wow. But if you just say, I'm going to survive, then I've succeeded. So, but to say, yeah, my criteria for success is getting free money from the government, this is a bad attitude. Yeah. No, it's the establishment, actually, Bear. I think both the Democratic establishment and the Republican establishment love the open borders. Maybe for different reasons. Yeah, you may be right on that. But they both love it. And this is not good for any country. America has a way of thinking, and it's developed slowly in isolation with immigrants coming. But now they're coming and they're saying all of American history is bad. No, fuck off. It's not. Some of it is, some of it is not. So, they're just focusing on the bad. Why? Why go to a country like that? Stay away. Yeah, Stone Reaper, that's true. 100 years ago, you didn't have hand phones, you didn't have, telephones. Just get rid of the whole fucking thing. A lot more content and happy. You didn't have television. So let's go back to a time before you had the social engineers working 24/7 to twist people's brains. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, before television, before the social engineers got control and understood how to use television. That's when it started to really go south really fast. That was about 50 years ago, 60 years ago now. Yeah. Yeah, one particular immigrant, I know. That's the story that just keeps on giving, isn't it? Yeah. And why didn't they stay in Somalia? It's a beautiful place. So for some reason, I got on Google Earth, and I was in Somalia. And I went down, and I got a picture at the top of a building in the city. It looked fine. It looked fine. They've sorted out at least a stabilizing situation there, and it's stable. So they didn't have, or they don't have, a United Nations imposed dictator like Bahrain, and they're at peace. So I'll go back to Somalia. Somebody from Britain said they were going to send their kids back to Somalia because it's more peaceful in Somalia. Okay, that probably makes sense. A lot of countries get a lot of bad press. And I wouldn't believe it. See, this is manufacturing consent. This is, you read the top places to live in the world, and they're all these Western countries. And it just ain't true. They don't consider how many people are on psychiatric medications saying, oh, I'm happy. Well, no wonder you're happy. You're popping pills all day long. Fuck it. Yeah, I think we're going to see a 1920s whiskey. It's interesting. Because I think we're in a period that there's going to be a breakout. I don't know what that breakout's going to be, but it's going to be a breakout. And I think, the red pilling of the whole community is going to happen. And the Karens taking the psychiatric pills, they're just going to be told to shut up. And then they're going to recognize, yeah, well, maybe I should. Maybe I'm crazy and I should shut up. Yeah. And I think there's probably people who are upset with him in Belarus. But apparently he won the election by enough of a margin that even cheating wouldn't have given him that. So anyway, they came out of a communist situation. God only knows. As long as they're stable, they're probably okay. Yes, fostered cancer. I think that's part of the manufacturing of. Or the social engineering is you foster cancer, because whatever it is that you're engineering to have happen, it's not natural, and thus it's an artificial growth, and thus it's a cancer. And the social engineers are judges, and they're also politicians in the bureaucracy, and that social engineering is the creation of that kernel, a cancerous kernel. And so, this is the sickness. I like that. Yeah. Someone likes him. Yeah, you got enough votes. Yeah, no, that's right. It's either going to be a complete breakdown, which I don't know whether Americans are going to agree to a complete civil war. Some people are saying, and this is just derangement, that if you win an election, that proves you're in a fascist dictatorship. So that means you hate your fellow Americans so much you don't accept how they vote. And you think is wrong. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. It's the end of the cities, so they're driving people out of the cities, but then the cities were all swampy. Right, get back into the, where the real world is, back to the land, back to the industry, back to where you build stuff, not in cities where you sit in offices and human resources departments. And this is draining the swamp. Somebody asked Trump to drain the swamp. It looks like he's doing it. I don't think he planned the COVID-19 thing, but he's saying, look, it's draining the swamp. Look at New York City. We had Lamprey on. He's saying he's bugging out that there's not much left in New York. The whole culture is going to change in these big cities. There'll be some need for bigger cities, but that is looking like the glory days of the large cities have come to an end. Yeah, Gary, Indiana. Now these are the Rust Belt states stuff. I grew up watching that decline. It was in some ways scary and sad at the same time. And some cities tried to reinvent themselves, Pittsburgh, and did an okay job. And so, I'm not sure what the future is going to be, but we see the swamp being drained, and more information is coming out about the corruption of the Democratic Party establishment, some of the Republican establishment. And so at some point, the media should be brought back into American control from foreign control. There should be just a law passed that it's in the national interest to have the media owned and operated by Americans. That's it. So if you've got a company that ownership of that company is limited to Americans. And then we'll see some changes, I think. So and then everyone can just coattail on the American media if they want to speak freely, and the whole world will. And that's what the media is failing to see. They're trying to appease. This is a policy of appeasement, and it never gets anywhere. If you try to appease dictators, whether they're in China, whether they're in the Soviet Union, little petty dictators like the guy from Zimbabwe, or Perón from Argentina, it doesn't matter. Whenever you try to coddle and appease dictators and let them try to lie to their people, well, then you got a problem. So it's time for America, I believe, to establish two different classes of ownership for media companies. One, which allows Americans to elect the board of directors and one that just allows foreigners to be involved in the process and gain a dividend or something. Yep. Jesus. Oh, they're leaving. They're leaving the shithole places and going to Virginia. Yeah. And then the song by John Denver comes to mind, but that was West Virginia. But Jesus. A safe-ish distance. Gary, Indiana, is it that bad? You know, it used to be okay, didn't it? At one point, it used to be okay. But again, this is part of the manufactured destabilization of the social engineering cancer. That they created a permanent underclass of men, mostly black men, but they created this underclass, and in and out of prison, and it's the prison industrial complex. They needed the bodies, so they created it, and then whole towns got taken down. Yeah, whole towns got taken down, and that's it. They turned them into proving grounds for the underclass. Oh, there's a title for you. Hold on for a sec. Wait, what? No, I don't. You want to go buy me some? Sorry about that. Just had to order a cup of yogurt. And okay, yeah, the underclass. They threw the men out of the homes because they couldn't get the money from the government, so they went on the street and started smoking pot and in and out. I've described this, and this happened in the north. Apparently, there's a great migration out of the south by the black agricultural workers into the cities of the north, and they didn't get a lot of money. So then the do-gooders in the north, again the social engineer cancer doers, said, "Oh, let's give them lots of money and make the ghettos nicer." And they didn't give the men long enough to get through a generation of being poor and then having good kids get a little up, and then their kids getting more up and getting in the normal cycle. No, they had to go in and throw the men out of the homes, put them on the street, and there's a war against poverty, and this war against poverty might as well be called the prison industrial complex's raison d'etre. So, yeah, wow. So there's nothing left to Gary, right? It's just finished, is it? Oh well, too bad. I should go look at it on Google Maps and see how it is. It'd be good. It'd be good to see. But I ain't going there in person. I drove around Detroit at a safe distance a number of years ago. And I got to say, the roads around Detroit were the worst I've driven in a long time. And there. Yep. Evening, gentlemen. Thanks for dropping in, Stone Reaper. Take care. Get to work. Enjoy work. Yep. Wow. Bullet-ridden and sad. Destroyed. Anyone take accountability for that, Bear? Anyone stand up and say, I helped destroy Gary, Indiana. Maybe that should be the title of a book. Yeah. Stand up if you helped destroy Gary, Indiana. Yeah, my God. I wish people would do it. People should do it. Yeah, no, Detroit's okay. That's what I hear. Where I am, I met this guy. And, he's a little bit shorter than me. And not quite as big. And we were just talking there. And he said, yeah, I'm from Detroit. And then suddenly I got scared. I mean, I'm from a small city in Canada. But this guy, despite any stature or anything, when he said he was from Detroit, I knew he was like tough. Very friendly, very personal on the outside, but you knew inside there was like something tough. And for a second I felt it, and then I've remarked to myself since, remember that. Because you know what you got to do to survive on the streets, even if you're in nicer suburbs of Detroit or something. Never had to do that there. It's Michael Jackson's fault. Yeah, he was from there, wasn't he? He didn't bring enough money back. Took all his money and built a place in Beverly Hills. So what? Should have built his, Wonderland in Gary, Indiana. But I guess he used his fame and money to get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. Yep. No, this is the social engineering gone bad whiskey. We don't see it in Canada for some reason, because I don't think the social engineers could do as much damage in Canada. Not enough people or something, but... Ooh. Oh, is it? Jesus. What in the hell they dump it in that lake? Now, I remember seeing a picture of some river on fire in Cincinnati and saying, my God, that's just the worst. Apparently, it could be a natural thing, too. But, pollution in the river, and the river catches on fire. Yeah. Not a good scene for a city. So, yeah, that's it. Gary has been known to drop its sewage. Oh my God, I love how it's passive. Yeah. The incompetent city managers beaten down by social engineering do-gooders from Washington and the state had no choice but to release. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to happen once in a while. However, I'm not going to say it's a great thing, but, compared to the volume of water, the release of a couple million tons of sewage is not a big deal. So, yeah. I just didn't want to hear that, Bear. I just didn't want... why did I have to have that image in my mind? Yeah. No, there's definite issues. And, a lot of people make a lot of garbage. If you treat it well, it's fine. If you don't, it's not. Yep. So many questions raised by that I never wanted to Yes. Yeah, the wise, the wise. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Jeez. Yeah. No, people do crazy stuff, and that's it. And I think we can leave it at that sometimes, and benefit from that. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what city now is burning? Breonna Taylor City. So, here we have the social engineers. Here we have the militarized police. Here we have systems of oversight which have failed, and we get riots in the streets. So they're talking about breaking into someone's house on an investigation over a controlled substance. Is that controlled substance legal or non-punishable, I should say, in other jurisdictions? Who knows? Probably yes. Will it be later? Probably. So these people want to break into somebody's house, spend all this money investigating to trace down this controlled substance, which may be not punishable in other jurisdictions, and they don't wear cameras, and they say, we said police 1 second before we took a battering ram and broke down the door. And what, haven't you ever heard about knocking and then having people open the door after they've woken up a bit? And anyway, so we have the social engineering beginning. Then they say, we said we're police, and how long before they broke down the door? They don't say that. They're not wearing cameras. They're not releasing video. They're in a state, Kentucky, which has no-knock warrants. So we have a state which allows militarized violence against people. And then they shoot this woman dead, and they shoot her boyfriend. The boyfriend shoots somebody because he thinks it's a home invasion. And why wouldn't he? That's a reasonable thing. That's a reasonable thing. And so, none of this is looking good. And the discussion should be, why were they even wasting resources to investigate this controlled substance thing? Why were they doing that? Why don't they do something better? Like, arrest the people who run the Federal Reserve or something. There's a lot of better things that people can do with money than chasing down controlled substances that next year might not be controlled. Because they're lawful now, they were lawful then, they'll be lawful in the future, they're lawful. How much money was wasted, breaking into places where people were serving alcohol during Prohibition? Think of that. And now would they do it? No. Well, they shouldn't have done it then. It was because it was lawful to do it, and they tried to make constitutionally something that was lawful unlawful. That's social engineering. That's a cancer. And we saw the result of that cancer, which was violence. And who gets most of the violence? Men. So this is what we're seeing. Now, in this case, a woman dies, so everyone goes white knighty on this thing. This is like a test case or an obvious case of how social engineering goes wrong. And everyone's trying to pass the buck around, saying, oh, we did the right thing, we did the right thing. Well, nobody did the right thing. But you can't say that everyone did the wrong thing. That means the whole system is broken. I mean, everyone did the wrong thing. Anyone who changed that Constitution to penalize a lawful act, those people should go to hell. They should be sent directly to hell. Do not pass purgatory. Just go directly to hell. Because when you punish lawful acts, you are destroying the community. So anyway, that was that. That's good. So this is like a high school reunion. Memories. Da 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 da. Well, that's good. And hopefully, the beaches are safe to swim at now. Yes, it wasn't pad thai. I did have a bowl of soup, though. Somebody brought me a cream of mushroom soup. They've learned how to make cream of mushroom here, and I've got to say, it's as good as I've had anywhere. Yeah, that's it. Do not collect the 200 indulgences. This is, it's a system that's broken. And Americans, I don't think, have come to grips with the fact that their system is broken, that there are these evil social engineers who think that they know what's best, and so they put this cancerous idea in that distorts lawful action. Now, lawful action eventually, over time, will find a sustainable path, and it'll be sustained. But if you put that cancerous thing in, then you get violence. And this is what we see, and people back down because it's incremental. You back down a bit, you pull in a bit, and eventually you're in your fucking house wearing a mask. And that's what we're seeing. You've come to the very end of what social engineering will do. You're sitting in your house wearing a fucking mask. Yeah, bat soup. Yum. Give me some of that. Love it. Yeah, no, that's it. No, the politicians want their little fiefdoms. They want their little areas of power. They want to be able to stand up and speak and have people applaud them. They want to have, they want more power. They're megalomaniacs. And so, boom, boom, boom. The more that they can, socially engineer people, the more power they get. And then they can leverage that power to more power. Yeah, we're into the dark triad. And all of it hinges on violence. When they introduce violence, they should be beaten themselves. That's it. Bat souffle. I never thought of that. That sounds great. Bat souffle. Well, it's a mammal. You eat cows, sheep, dogs and cats. They can be put in there too. Bats and rats. Bat ratatouille. Rat bat tat. Bat rat tat tooey. Oh, God. Bat rat cat tatooey. There we go. Bat rat cat tatooey. Yeah. I wonder why so many mammals are named A-T. Bat, cat, rat. I think that's it. 3. That's pretty good for, there's not that many mammals. And again, we don't only have to eat, mammals. We can eat reptiles. Yeah, I don't eat dogs either. They're, really, I don't. And rat bat blue is a deep. Oh, is it? I didn't know. Rat bat blue. Yeah. Buffalo style bat wings. Yeah. No, that's right. We don't eat those stuff. Although we will eat whale, right? I don't know. I've never eaten whale. Has anyone eaten whale? And, I'm not against a whale hunt if it's traditional. And these Japanese guys say, oh, you can't prevent us from whale hunting. It's our traditional way of life. Okay, sure. So you go back before you got the iron ships, before you got the sonar, before you got the diesel engines, before you got the... hydraulic or pneumatic harpoons, and, go out the way that your ancestors did, and that's fine. And, they'd be able to get a couple whales a year. But no, they're trying to gaslight. This is not traditional. Traditionally, your ancestors did not go out in a large iron vessel with diesel engines and pneumatic, air-driven harpoons, with sonar to locate the whales. No, this was not traditional. So don't give me that bullshit. That's just bullshit. Yeah. At some point, the technology changes what is traditional into what is modern. And I think if you want to get into the modern age, you can certainly create massive problems easily. And you can create massive solutions easily, too. Yeah, why not? Well, delicious. They eat it all the time in northern Canada, or did. Yeah. Yeah. Great times ahead for dogs. This is a good world. When the dogs are happy, the world is happy. I think I want to be quoted for that. When the dogs are happy, the world is happy. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, we're talking about the real well. For God's sakes, nobody's into cannibalism here. Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Of course we're live. Why wouldn't we be live? We're live and alive. We are live and alive. I feel alive. I feel alive. What have you done to feel alive this week, today, this month, this year? I gotta say, I'm feeling alive. I generally feel okay inside, but I've had no pain this week for the last several days. I stimulated a problem, and in the solution of that problem, I solved another problem, which had been giving me pain for 6 months. So that's done. And I was on the road to fixing that problem anyway, so most of the pain was gone, but now I was like pain-free completely. I took the amoxicillin. Whatever sickness was in me was gone. And, yeah. It's like I'm a new man. So, that's it. This is feeling alive. Feeling like I'm 57 years old, which I am. And it's good to be 57. It's good to feel 57. I'm feeling strong again. For a long time I said, geez, I don't think I could run the Boston Marathon even if I worked out. Now I think I can. Like tomorrow. It might take me a little while, but that's it. You're not that old that you couldn't do it, but if there's something wrong, and there was obviously something wrong, and then just cleaned it out, my God, I don't recommend dengue fever to anyone, to tell you the truth. I don't recommend it. But I got to say, after it's all over, you get a whole new lease on life. Next time I get that sick, I'm going to the hospital, though. Tell you. You go in, get some treatment, and get out. I feel great. So, what in the hell's a baby lips? I don't know what that is. Yeah, the wild game. And lots of mammals there. Moose, I've had moose a few times, and it's pretty good. It's gamey, so you got to soak it a bit and season it right, and it's fine. It's all fine. And yeah, there's good things to be said for all of this. This is the world that we've been given. And those people who can't take the death with the life, I'm not sure about them. These radical, Karen vegans and stuff like that. There's probably some good health reasons to have a balanced diet, but we've been living this diet for a long time. We're meat eaters, carnivores, and you should thank. This is what I really get. From the Amerindian type of approach, is that they thank the animal that died for the meat that it was giving them. And they thanked the animal, and they were part of that animal, and the animal was part of them, and they were part of this cycle, and that's just what it is. And so, yeah, I battled some microorganisms this week, and I understand that at some point they're going to take me down, and that I'm in a battle against them, just like the deer is in the battle against the hunter. And sometimes the hunter wins, and sometimes the hunter loses. Well, this time, in my case, I won, and those that were trying to kill me lost. And next time, it may not be so lucky. So, but this is the world we're in, and I'll wash my hands, and I'll kill all the bacteria, and I'll wash my face, and I'll kill all the bacteria around there. And I won't feel bad. I'll just say, well, this is part of it. I live, you die, that's it. And I'm going to take the nutrients that you've stored up in your body, and I'm going to put it in a hamburger bun and enjoy it. And that's just the end of it. And if I can grow you like a farm, I'm going to do it. And if I think that you're needlessly or, uncomfortable in some situation, well, maybe I won't torture you. But ultimately, I felt like I was getting tortured last Sunday, 6 days ago. I felt like I was being tortured, and fucking viruses or bacteria or whatever it was that was attacking me, they didn't give a shit about me. But, we're aware. We're sentient creatures. We're aware of the world we live in. And so we can thank the creature we killed for giving us its meat. And we can say, why kill it if I'm not going to eat it? So this is another thing that Amerindians would say, well, why would I kill it if I'm not going to eat it? And, I don't need all of it now. And so I'm not going to kill it and leave it there. No. Now, I find it disgusting that you would kill a shark just for its fins. This is wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, eat buffalo. Is that why, the city of Buffalo? I was thinking about that city, Buffalo. It was named after the buffalo that came in or something from the west. And went there for processing or something. And the meat and then the skins or whatever. I thought it was. I could be wrong. Yeah. When the hell's a beefalo? I remember hearing that. Is that like a cross between a cow and a buffalo or something? Yeah. The buffalo grow, sizably bigger than the cows. And this was the great replacement. And they replaced the herds of buffalo with herds of cattle. And, good, thanks, whiskey. And this was the great replacement. So there was the wild buffalo, and they were killed in the late 1800s. And it was not good. I don't think anyone says that what happened was good. Some men made a lot of money, and they just didn't care. But they weren't aware. They just saw money. They needed money. And, they weren't looking at the big picture. Nobody told them to look at the big picture. They thought it was endless, and it wasn't. They didn't realize the power of modernity to destroy, a whole ecosystem. Anyway, when people look at biomass, like animal biomass, and they put it in those terms, and then they give you a measurement, I noticed that they measured it from 1860. And then you see this dramatic decline from 1860 to today. And I'm saying, well, why didn't they choose 1800? And why didn't they choose, blah, blah, blah? Why didn't they choose 1900? Well, if they chose 1900, they wouldn't include the buffalo. So they're going back to just before the massive buffalo kills. Thus, the amount of biomass in the wild that was decreased by humans was massive. Just because the buffalo were so big and they killed so many of them. And there were so many of them to be killed. And so, but if you start the biomass decrease at 1900, it doesn't look as serious. It may be serious for some species, no question. But if in terms of biomass, they're twisting the numbers. This is fear-mongering. This is not balanced. If you take one species out, then the whole equation looks very different. So this is just fear-mongering. So, and again, I think we still have buffalo, and there are some herds, and if they were allowed to do their business, they would expand back out. and take over the Great Plains, and maybe that'll happen one day when humans finish their little project here, whatever that is, and maybe the buffalo will continue onwards with a little blip here for a couple of 100 years of human messing around with them. So anyway, that's that's buffalo, and this is the power of modernity, and the Japanese harpooners with their iron ships and their sonar and their fancy technology. Well, this isn't traditional, and we can destroy things, and we can rebuild things, and we can garden. We can turn the Sahara into a garden if that's what we wanted to. So, yeah, their numbers are recovering, but if they recover too much, all of a sudden we don't get hamburgers, we get buffalo burgers, or if you're so inclined, you can do beefaloes. However, I got a question about the beefaloes now, Whiskey. It's a cross between a beef cow and a buffalo. Now, I'm wondering which one is the man, which one is the woman, and is it sustainable in that the children can themselves have children? So is it able to be a self-propagating species? That I haven't heard. Because this is evolution. It's not that you have you don't survive in your environment. It's that you have children that have children, and that's a whole different thing. Right, it's mules, right? Mules can't have kids, right? So the beefalo can have, wow, that's like a whole new species. That's great. Yeah. Beefalite. Beefalo, beefalite. These are new fucking words. I love it. Yeah. Well, there we go. I'm gonna just look that up right now. Take a look. Oh my, there we are. Yeah. No, that's a substantial looking thing. My, oh my, that's a mean looking cow. I love it. How many beefalos? Too many beefalo. Apparently, a beefalo invasion is causing trouble. Well, obviously, people don't like evolution because this is normal. Something meets something else, and then something else comes out of it, and that's just the way of the world. I'm looking at this cow. This thing's looking prehistoric, man. I love it. Oh my. Yeah, why not? Why not have a new breed? Maybe we need a new breed. Looks pretty tough, Looks like it'll handle, the winters of, Western Canada. My God. Even in a barn, it's pretty cold. Wow, this is great. Do they sell it at the stores you work in, Whiskey? Like, I mean, do they label it beefalo? And like you can buy it like normal, like easy, standard? Because I don't remember seeing it in the stores when I was growing up. I heard about it, but I don't recall it being like a choice. In our family, we probably would have tried it. Why not? And but this is great. Okay, I see. So it's still somewhat specialty. And yeah. Wow. I'm just thinking, somebody's got a song here, Smurf. I don't know who it is, like Steve Miller Band or something, Space Chickens. Man, I love it. Oh, God. This is great. Yeah. Yeah, I think the aliens are going to bring us a new food. It's called Soylent Green. Soylent Green is beef burgers. Yeah. This is certainly a time for fun. As we approach, I think I still got $50 that this debate in 4 days is not going to happen. I still got $50. Something's going to happen that is not going to happen, and there's going to be all shit hits the fan. I hope I'm wrong. And then afterwards, I also have more money on that they're going to replace Biden, and that probably there'll be an emergency meeting. They'll establish a new candidate, probably Andrew Cuomo, because he was so effective in hyping up the COVID-19 scare in order to leverage, the strong man response. But, it didn't really look that good. It just looked like he sent people to nursing homes to die. It looks like he blew it. That was probably a stupid thing to do. He probably put the word out, we got to get the numbers up. We got to get the numbers up. Well, why don't we send a lot more people to nursing homes? Then they'll die there, and then we'll scare everyone, and you'll be the hero. You'll be the hero, boss. And then it just looks, pathetic. And you look at the number of cases, the number of deaths. You compare New Jersey and New York with every other state, and it's like you're in a different planet. It's like those two states have 90% of all cases. And you're saying, what? That doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, buffalo burger, bison burger. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, beef flour 3/8 bison and 5/8 bovine. And it says a fertile hybrid offspring. There we go. So it's fertile hybrid offspring. Wow. Why not? Why not? Cows are great. And buffalo are great. And now you can mix it together. It's almost like peanut butter cups. It's almost like that, eh? All they need is a marketing campaign. You've got your peanut butter and my chocolate. No, you've got your chocolate and my peanut butter. Now I'm getting fucking hungry. That's what I'm saying, whiskey. Holy shit. But I'm going to say, it's hard to tell where I am sometimes, but I think I'm getting water buffalo occasionally. They call it beef, but I swear it's water buffalo. And sometimes it's good, as long as you know what to do with it. You just, it's a bit gamey, so you just tone it down. You add a little bit more red wine, that's it. As opposed to using 1, you use 3, and then you're fine. So, anyway. Yeah, you've got your bison and my bovine. No, you've got your bovine and my bison. And now we're getting horribly sexual with fucking animals. But, yeah, which way does it go? Anyway, this is a new marketing campaign. My God, I can see it. You've got the bison humping the cow. You've got your bison in my bovine, and then you've got a bull, a cow, a beef bull bovine bull reaming a bison cow, and no, you've got your bovine in my bison. Buy the bison burger. Da-da-da. Available at your in stores everywhere. Yeah, I know. It's sick, isn't it, Johnny? This is a sick line of discourse. I love it. Yeah, I guess I'm old enough to remember the Reese's peanut butter cups, advertisements, and this is a strange way of viewing it. Yeah, but this is natural, and in fact, it shouldn't be strange. And this is the problem. I grew up thinking hamburger came in a fucking piece of plastic. When I found out hamburger came from a cow, I was shocked. I think I was 15. I just didn't think about it. I think I knew, but it didn't click. Why are they growing? They have a cow farm. Oh, that's fucking nice. Why are they growing cows? Well, I never fucking asked that question. They just had a cow farm. What's on television? Click. And, there weren't too many television shows about abattoirs. Maybe we need more. Oh, yeah, and then that would trigger all the SJWs now. Oh, we can't be killing animals. Don't ever let me wash my hands again. Oh, I can wash my hands because those animals are small. Oh, yeah, but if they're big, we like them. If they're small, we'll kill them. You're a dwarf, you're dead. Yeah, fuck, I love the SJWs. Oh, I can't see it, therefore I'll kill it. Oh, God. Let's have just drone warriors everywhere. So, yeah, no, we need more television shows of abattoirs. Yeah. Oh, and now I'm reminded of that Monty Python skit where John Cleese comes in and is trying to design an abattoir for people, where people walk into the abattoir and get all... Anyway, watch the skit. Yeah. Nice one, Bear. Yeah, who in the fuck was messing with the fucking chat? We had a bunch of trolls come in. I didn't recognize any of them. Maybe they're just here wondering what's going on. I didn't read any of the comments before they got jettisoned. I don't know. But it's funny. Yeah. Everyone go out and get a sock puppet account and come in and make some nasty comments and see how everyone reacts. Yeah, good fun. Good fun on YouTube. Before they shut us down. They're gonna shut us down. I know they are. They're gonna shut us down tighter than the thing. The thing. Yeah, the thing. Yeah, that's new. This new Biden talk. Whenever you can't say anything, you know the thing. You can't think of the word, you know the thing. Yeah. When I troll, I want full credit. When I drink alone, I like to be by myself. Yeah, that's a great line. Yeah, Whiskey, we know. You troll yourself. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Oh, my God. I think I just trolled myself. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yes, I know. And I'm going to look at that comment, the size of my manhood. I'm not sure whether I'm going to accept that now, because I think that's a criteria for success as determined by women. Coming from me, I'm a guy. I don't care what the size of any of your body parts are, to tell you the fucking truth. I'll certainly draw attention to it if you got a really big fucking head or something. Wow, man, you got a really big fucking head. Or, if you got, sizable biceps. Wow, man, your fucking arms are fucking massive. If it comes up or something like that, or, if you're really fucking small, then, yeah, man, you're really fucking small. And, But I think the manhood doesn't matter on any individual parts, and this is the trouble. What does it mean to be a man? Well, I don't think I can answer that question because I don't know. A man can be anything, and the manhood, the size of the manhood of the man, is not determined by, a woman's whatever decision. And to me, a man with a sharp mind and a straight ahead demeanor is the kind of man. That's how I measure a manhood. A sharp mind to know, I'm going over here in this conversation. I'm going over here in that conversation. I'm not going to go places where I don't want to go. That I think is a man. The measure of a man is he doesn't go where he doesn't want to go, and he goes where he wants to go. And I think they don't like that. I think that's what the social engineers are trying to stop, incrementally, bit by bit. And they're trying to say, well, you're a man if you're this, you're a man if you're that, you're a man if you're that, as opposed to you're a man if you go your own way. So this is it. But, we have the sayings, the size of my manhood, and we all can laugh because I think we all know it's not true. It's not true at all. It's just the way to get the community to be sustained. And at this point, there's not much point in sustaining the community. So, yeah, a wolf-coyote natural hybrid. Yeah, probably. Probably kills. A coy wolf. I'm looking up, a hybrid, a coy wolf or something like that. Wow. They both have 78 chromosomes, therefore they can interbreed. Wow. Yeah. And coy dogs. I think they're saying that they can interbreed with dogs. Yeah, why not? Should do it more. What was that movie, that recent movie? I'm going to recommend it. Call of the Wild. The great book by Jack London. And I have the book, but I hadn't read it. It was on my list, obviously, because I bought it. And then I got to see the movies. And maybe now I'll read the book. But I thought the movie was great. I think it's a great story. And, oh, for heaven's sakes, whiskey. It's Anne Murray from Nova Scotia singing about spread your tiny wings and fly away. Like snowbirds, right? She sings about snowbirds and you want her to be eaten by a coy wolf. Yeah. Hey, it's Mgtow Thread. Hey, Mgtow Thread, how are you? Yeah, no, I think we're just, we're in a very standard sort of low, there wasn't too much exciting this week. Things are in a tense situation. It's better just to play cool. Just play cool. Salty? Who in the hell's Salty? 12,000K views? Jesus. Who's Salty? My God, maybe I should be doing what he's doing. Although, if that happened, they take me down. There's no fucking way I would do that. No, I wouldn't do that. No. You do that, Salty Cracker. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, then. I'm looking him up now. Yeah, he gets big views. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see. He's in on it. Yeah, he's hardcore in on it. Yeah. My God. Democrats are terrorists. Re-stream. I appreciate you going over there and doing that to get the word out. These people. And again, it's just currently the Democrats are the terrorists, but it's any establishment. It's the establishment. It could be the Republicans. It's the Republican establishment. How many of them are against Trump? So it's all the establishments going against the guy, and they're all terrorists. The weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, that was a disposability of men. The men of Iraq, the men of America used to kill the men of Iraq for some weapons that never existed. And if you believe Scott Ritter beforehand, and he was involved in the American search for weapons after that war that George Bush Sr. started. They couldn't find any weapons. He said there was no weapons. Suddenly, the mass media and General Colin Powell, Republican now, turncoat, he said there were weapons of mass destruction. Slam dunk in front of the United Nations. They weren't there. So they just blew men up. They blew up their bodies. They killed them. They put them in the dirt. They destroyed a country. They used, horrible weapons. Nasty, radioactive weapons. And so these are the terrorists. It's the establishment. And so, yeah, good salty cracker. Good one. Yeah, he's got a big channel here. Holy shit. Yeah. They're going to close him down. No, I appreciate what he's doing, but they're going to close him down. And anyway, the only really sort of crazy, stupid thing this week. Did anyone see that video of Nancy Pelosi when she just does a brain hemorrhage or something and goes, "Hello, Sunday morning," and just freaked it out? Anyway, it was very strange, completely strange. And you look in the eyes of George Stephanopoulos while interviewing her, and you can tell in his eyes he's going like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Yeah, excellent, Johnny. Enjoy that. My God, it sounds great. Keep the hammer strong. Well, Mgtow Smurf, I sent out another message to Warrior just, I think 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard back. So maybe I should send another one out. No, I haven't. And I would appreciate anyone who can get in touch with him to, get in touch with him and just say hello. Maybe he doesn't want to be gotten in touch with. I don't know. Maybe he does. And so, I see, Wookie. Excellent. Well, that's a big channel, Wookie. It's, and I suppose he needs some mods. Because, there's a lot of SJWs who won't like any of that. And, I think they see the election slipping away from them, and they're trying to believe the polls again. But these pollsters were wrong. But this is part of the mind war. You just say you're going to win. You say you're going to win. You say you're ahead in the polls, but you're not. Nobody sees them ahead in the polls. Apparently, Joe Biden walked into some campaign event in front of union people in the Midwest or something, and there was nobody there. Like, nobody was there. There was 50 people in total, including Secret Service, including media, and they didn't even say how few there were, but I think there was like 2 or 3 guys. That was it. 2 or 3 guys there to at an event for a presidential candidate. This is unheard of. There's like no support for this guy. He can't drum up. There's apparently a car rally or something like that. They were going to drive around in their cars, like a parade. There were 3 cars in the parade. This is insane. There's like no support, And these pollsters are saying that he's got all the support in order to convince those who want to vote that when they lose, they'll say it was stolen. This is crazy. Oh, yeah, he always flips out when somebody talks about his son. So you know what Trump is going to ask him. Holy fuck. Anyway, Wookie, I don't know what Salty Cracker's doing for the debates, but, I'm thinking about going up on Discord and just watching on Discord. Maybe we can jump into the chat. That's probably what I'm going to do. So, yeah, Hunter is as dirty as fuck. And apparently it came out that he got a couple of million from the mayor's wife of Moscow. The wife of the mayor of Moscow, for some reason, transferred a couple of million into his bank account. And there's nothing wrong with this. What? So here's the Russia gate, right? This is what you do. Where's our weakness? Russia. Okay, they did Russia. Where's our weakness? Corruption. They did corruption. Where's whatever your weakness is, you accuse the enemy of it first. And you get this narrative out first, and if you're first out with a narrative, you win. And that's just it. So, point the finger. First. Yeah, Crowder, he's going to have to do something smart. Maybe he should instruct everyone to go to a mainstream channel, listen to the speech on the channel, and then he talks over the speech on his channel or something like that. If he tries to bring in someone's feed without paying for it, yeah, they're going to get him nailed. So, yeah, that's right. I just looked at the county by county map there on who wins, red or blue, right? And the whole of the hinterland of the inland, almost all of it is red. And it's only these large population places. They get government handouts. They're part of the establishment, and they're basically being bought off by the establishment. And these places are blue. And this is the problem. And because of historical reasons or whatever. People vote blue, and then enough of them are bought off in all of these high population density zones with lots of members. They're shifting the balance of how you win elections. You win elections by pandering to people in cities, by giving them lots of money that you extract from the rest of the country. And some of it generates in the cities as well, but that's not it. They're getting the money from the taxes, and then they're feeding the taxes into the cities and not into the country. So, because you can control people in the cities, obviously, right? The gun-free zones, or let's say the duck and a pond zones of Chicago and stuff. This is what they're looking for. It's hard to govern people tightly if they're in the countryside. When everyone knows where you live, so you're not going to be a jerk policeman, right? You can't be, because everyone knows where you live. You're vulnerable. In a city, you can sort of hide if you're a dark triad policeman. And I don't know how many of them are dark triad, and they won't say, and nobody will ask them because everyone's a coward. But the number's not zero. And the best thing to address the dark triad policeman is transparency and accountability and transparency. And they won't do that because why? Because they're dark triad. The only person who would deny that transparency and accountability will stop the dark triad are the dark triad themselves. So yeah, that's right. Rich people in cities. Although, some people get rich for doing great things, and they write a great book, they write a great song, they move into a city. That's fine. People getting rich is fine, but it's a kleptocracy. If they're getting money from the government, and that's how they're getting rich. That was my problem with Ross Perot. He was a rich man, but he got rich by doing government contracts. He did other contracts, but that wasn't his meat and potatoes. So this is it. If you're making your money honestly, I don't care how much you make. If you're making it dishonestly, like Google, like Microsoft, these people are evil. Their business models are predatory on the community. These are not entities that benefit the community. Yeah, sure, their products are wanted and needed, but the way they went about it is predatory. So, and now we see that their interests are not in where they should be. American companies' interests should be in America. And if they go out and do the rest of the world, well, that's their business. And the first thing they should do is adhere to the laws of the country in which they're incorporated. Otherwise, fold up and incorporate somewhere else. And America would be wise to put up a different share structure, to insist that all owners of media are human beings and that they are Americans. And this is coming from a Canadian. For God's sakes, take ownership of your media, America, and do so quickly. Human ownership of media. You have a share, you have a face, and then you vote. Yeah, so that's it. And then, people can control the board of directors, and they can control this. So, yes, that's right. I remember just reading a story about that, Bear. Who was it? It was the guy who invented WhatsApp. So the guy who invented WhatsApp went to get a job at one company. They turned him down, like Google or something like that. And he went somewhere else. They declined to hire him. So he went out and created the app WhatsApp, and then sold it and made a personal $3.8 billion. And so, okay, here's a guy, I'll get out and see if I can get a job here. No, I can get a job here. No, okay, let me build something. So he went and made this app, had an idea, made the app, $3.8 billion in the bank. Jesus. So this is what you can do. And this is, again, making your own criteria. And he said he wasn't worried about it. At the time he got turned down, I'm not worried about it. He knew something would happen. He was able to get by, and he wasn't begging on the street or anything. Obviously, if that was the situation, it would have been difficult. But you can always get a job at McDonald's, and then at night do your programming. And at the end of a year, you live pretty hard, but you got something to do. A unicorn IPO or something like that, and get some venture capital money. You're not working at McDonald's, and now you got a staff of 10, and you got a staff of 100, and then you sell your company for $15 billion and put $4 in your pocket. Yeah, this is a good thing. So yeah, if you got a good idea, you go for it, but there's risk involved. There's risk that he's a success story. But there's 100 guys out there who did the same thing who didn't sell for $15 billion. Maybe they sold for, $50,000, and maybe they couldn't sell anything, and they're still working at McDonald's. Okay, but the guy working at McDonald's is the guy with the $4 billion in his pocket. It's the same guy. Just one guy got it, and the other guy didn't. But both guys tried. As long as both guys try, it's the same guy. Because not everyone's going to win. Not everyone is going to be the guy to develop WhatsApp. And there's a guy who was like 3 months behind him, right? And what did he get? Well, he might have gotten something, or he might have gotten nothing. Or he might have got so fuddled up that he couldn't do it. And this guy just was able to see through it or talk to the right guy and overcame some problem by luck or by whatever, or by skill or whatever. No. What's your success? I think the best success, the best criteria for success is to be open for success. Not that you have to have it, just you're open for it. And if it comes, it comes. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And then you find, okay, then I succeeded, I feel good. I didn't succeed, well, I wasn't always going to succeed. But you got a success, there, done. Yeah. Yeah, what's the line from the Creed song? The more you push us down, the more we rise up. That's it. But again, that's not going to happen to everyone. But yeah, no, people get dorked by the government all the time. They get dorked by life itself. There's risk. Risk just comes. It is entropy. It takes something that's ordered and pushes it down to an unordered state. Disordered or unordered. So, we've got, I put entropy as unorderedness and not disorder, because disorder can be very energetic if it's a thriving disorderedness. So, but an ordered is the most energetic, and then disordered, and then unordered. And so, if you have your life ordered and you're prosperous and moving ahead, and then you get shoved back to square one, then then you've got to rebuild an orderedness from disorderedness or unorderedness. If there's a fire, then you basically got unorderedness. There's nothing there. But if a hurricane comes through and blows things around, you've got disorderedness, and just reorder it. But you don't have to. Sometimes a hurricane comes at the end of your life. Well, you're going to be living in a bit of disorder. Okay, there's disorder. I'm not worrying about it today. I'm alive. I'm doing okay. There's disorder. I'm letting it ride. Ride, ride, ride. Let it ride. That's it. That was a great song back then in the 80s. Sometimes you just let it ride. And I think that's the problem with the criteria for success, is that women won't let things ride. They want 100% safety. They want 100% gynocentrism. They won't let things ride. Not if it's forcing a man to do something. No way. So, this was an evisceration of small businesses. Baron Exile. A lot of people lost a lot of money. And this is not going to be good coming back for these people and others. Yeah, BTO, Backman, Turner, Overdrive. Yeah. Let it ride. And, in fact, I listened to that maybe last week or something. They got a number of great songs that you just love to hear. And, that Fred Turner, the guy, the singer, the main singer for BTO. Randy could sing himself, but they just got this bass player, and the guy sang, and suddenly, and he was later on in life, just a regular guy, playing bass in bar bands and stuff, and pretty good, competent bass player. All of a sudden, gets picked up. They work really hard for a couple of years. Randy Bachman was on the bad books for dropping out of Guess Who at its height. And obviously Fred Turner had nothing to lose. So they did it, and then boom, 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 boom. And so later on in his life, suddenly he got what he had wanted. He was open for success. Now, how many Fred Turners are out there that never get up there? Well, we got one here. MM drops in. And he was right there. I heard a video of him playing. He was right there. All it needed was just something extra that just didn't gel, and he was right there. He was right there. He's as famous to me as Fred Turner is to everyone else, because he was open for success. He was right there. It could have happened. It just didn't. And it's not going to happen to everyone. And, some people seemingly like it's destined to happen. There's something just so magical and special that it was going to happen. It was just going to happen. I think Neil Young is one of them. I think Sting is another. It was just going to happen. And from Alberta, Katie Lang. There was just something that couldn't be kept down. And that's the most interesting of stories, Not everyone was born normal, as it were. She was one of them. And nevertheless, she made it. And it's a woman. Okay, that's great. That's great. Or one would say, I don't know what she is now. And it doesn't really matter now, does it? She's an entertainer, and that's it. Yeah, MM, terrific guitar player. I mean, he can sing and play, and he plays in that way, and it sounds great. My God, it sounds great when he does it. He goes out and does his pick and stuff, but that's not his forte. It's not his forte, and he does that, and he does this, and he's just playing around with us. You put him on stage, and I think he becomes a very different person. And that's great. And that's the way it should be. You get on stage, you're a different person. I'm not the person I normally am right now. I'm a different person. I'm a new person. And that's the whole thing about getting up on stage. And when you're walking outside, Mgtow Ghost, level 4, you are on stage. So regardless of what's happening, you imagine that there are lights and cameras on you and you're walking onto a stage and everyone's watching you. Because I think, God damn it, I think they are. They're watching you through your phone. They're watching you through cameras on the street. You don't know it. Cameras in stores. You don't know it. Even people filming with their phone cameras all over the place. You don't know. So Mgtow Ghost level 4 on the street. That's it. And this is, I think, the new stance. This is the smart stance. And if you invite trouble, then you're asking for it. Who was it the other day? There was some video I was watching, and they're talking about some get-together with men and women at this event, and it turned out badly. And I'm just reminded of Bob the Monk's wise adage that if there's alcohol and women at the same event, men leave. And this was another case where that would have saved a life, really, or saved a lot of trouble. And this is just a smart way of handling things. So I think Mgtow is going to move into the future better than anyone else, and everyone's getting on board. I see the numbers. We don't see the numbers here, but we're here making sure that this whole thing is just big and pushing forward and can't be pushed around. There's no way. There's young men out there now talking to young men. The old men are getting it. If we got any new older men coming in here, they know they can talk here. And we don't put up with bullshit, and we'll tell you exactly what's going on. The young men are having great trouble, and they have to find their own criteria for success. And this is, I think, maybe the message I'm going to end with right now and just get out of here for today, is that, if you're out there supporting the young men and the older men, is that get away from anyone else's hand-me-down criteria for success. I don't care what it is. If you think you're successful, I agree with you. And anything I say about what I think is successful maybe applies to me. Maybe it doesn't apply to you. I'm not going to make it apply to you. You know, you like different music, and maybe I can appreciate it, maybe I can't, but you got different criteria. Maybe I understand it, maybe I don't. And that doesn't matter. You know, we can sit down, have a beer, and have a great time. And you on your criteria for success, and me on mine. And at the end of our lives, we'll wonder, well, could I have done things differently? The answer is yes. Could I have had different criteria for success and met it? Yes. Could I have had different criteria for success and not met it? Yes. You know? But why are you going to set yourself up to fail by taking over someone else's criteria for success? And so I think the fight now is to remove all gynocentric criteria for success. And say, no, there's women can have their own criteria for success on women, whatever they like. If they want that, that's fine. But even for men, don't have to take any other man's criteria for success. And the success of the community is having each man for himself to determine his own criteria for success, and we'll see how the community grows. And if we can get rid of the social engineers, I think we'll get rid of a cancer. I'm going to take that idea from today, because a cancer is an artificial growth. It just takes over and eats out from inside, and that's what we see. We see a social engineering cancer. So I think the biggest cancer is that the do-gooders want their own criteria of success, and they're willing to put in violence. Sickness. There, I'll just put it down for posterity's sake. Yeah, we've got this thing. It's a cancer. You know, and I'm saying that in every reasonable analogy I can think of with the little I know of cancer. And you know, we see the police doing their social engineering in Kentucky and killing that woman, and now we have riots. Maybe we need the riots to expunge the sickness, to show the sickness, to stop hiding the sickness that is those police in Kentucky, is the whole system in Kentucky, the social engineering sickness of Kentucky. The governor, the everyone, down the state senate, the state house, all of it. It's sick. Yeah, okay, some people are going to abuse certain things, but you got to, you know, teach them. And if they won't learn, well, then that's their choice. They have to make their own criteria for success. But to wake people up in the middle of the night, banging at their door, and then shooting them, you know, this is unacceptable in any decent, civilized community, you know. And this is what they're doing to men. They're just arresting men, throwing them out. Horrible, horrible. We see it coming to fruition. We see it coming up, and we see men standing up and taking steps against it. And I will repeat and end that men can get anything they want if they do it smart. Anyway, hit the like button. Thanks, Whiskey, and thanks, Bear, for coming in, and everyone else for coming in, and Wookie for doing the great work on the Salty Crackers channel, and everything else. Everything else is looking great. Thank you, Whiskey, and it's nice to have you back here. We should drop in. We meant to get together a while ago, but it didn't happen. It may happen now. I'm feeling better. Looking good. Take care. We'll end the stream now. Remember, Mgtow plenty in 2020.